This is That Bell with the KC Soccer Journal. I am with Coach Ryan Pore from UMKC Men's. He's the head coach of the UMKC Men's soccer team. How are you today, Coach?
I'm doing well, Thad. Thanks for having me.
You're into preseason now. I think you've got one exhibition game under your belt and a couple more, one or two more coming up. How's preseason going?
Yeah, it's going great. We're fortunate we've had so many returning players, so I think we're further ahead than we've ever been before. Guys came in tremendously fit. I think we only had 3 or 4 guys miss the fitness test, and it's a testament to their desire and work over the summer. It's a testament to our performance coach. All of them were back on campus July 13th, working together until our official date on August 4th. And so feel really good where we're at. We were supposed to play Sporting's first team last Saturday during their bye week. That got canceled. Was able to play Rockhurst on Tuesday. So we're able to get 45 minutes in each guy's legs. And then we go up to Omaha tomorrow to play Creighton. And so we're excited for our last preseason game tomorrow before we kick off the real season next Thursday home against SIUE.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty tough non-conference schedule. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think, you're playing the number 2 team in the country on the road. You're playing another top 20 team in SMU on the road. We're fortunate to host San Diego, a top 20 team. And so, listen, our goals and objective are to advance an NCAA tournament. And to do that, you got to put yourself in some really challenging environments. And so our goal at this program isn't just to get to the NCAA tournaments, to advance and make a run. And we feel very strongly that to do that, you have to play the best opponents in the non-conference. And so we were very strategic on how we schedule. And looking forward to those matchups for sure. And we'll take it one game at a time, but have some exciting non-conference matches on the road, but also some very exciting non-conference games at home. Like I said, San Diego coming to us, Michigan State coming to us, some top programs coming to Kansas City because of the seasons we've had and the RPI we've been able to maintain and the quality of opponent that we are.
Yeah, I think I learned more about RPI from you the last couple of years of, focusing on making sure you had a good opponent so your RPI would be up there for the tournament rankings and such forth. Made me follow it a lot closer than I probably ever did before. Speaking of just the conference, I know Denver left.
Yeah.
Is that hurt your RPI? Because they've always were a pretty good team.
Yeah, it certainly does. It certainly does. And honestly, for the bigger picture, just hurts for the competitive standpoint. Us and Denver always played very competitive games. Obviously, we played in, I think, knockout games the last 4 years against each other, and those games have went some their way, some our way. It's just a fun game to play. And so Jamie and I have talked about getting that game back on the schedules in non-conference, hopefully in 2027 moving forward, but definitely a loss for our conference. And, we're hopeful that, Delaware had a good year last year. We're hoping some of these other teams can continue to enhance their product on the field and help our conference continue to grow.
I know I joked with somebody that Denver left because you guys were getting too good.
Well, listen, I think we were, luckily, we were behind when we first took over, when I took over the program, and Denver was a great example for us on how to get there and how to get to the highest of level of Division I soccer. So I think without them in our conference, it would have been much more difficult. But since they were a top 20 program, historically throughout our whole conference journey with them, and they really gave us the blueprint on how to do it and to really expedite this thing and compete with them on a really not only a conference level, but a national level as well. I mean, there were moments and seasons where the Summit League were in the top 5 of conference RPI. It was just a really, really high level conference. And so we're thankful for them to kind of show us the way, but we'll definitely miss that rivalry within the conference for sure.
I know I talked to Coach Smith, head coach of the women's team, a little bit earlier, and I talked to her because you guys both came at the same time or very close to the same time. Both took over the Roos in 2020, which obviously everybody knows what happened then. That had to be a tough, again, the Roos were not at their best at that time. And you guys both took over teams that were struggling a little bit and have progressed a lot since then. Just can you talk about kind of that journey over the last, 6-7 years now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I have history with the city before. I had lived here before. I knew the infrastructure of what UMKC was. I knew it wasn't, obviously, Kansas City is a great soccer city. So we're the only Division I school here within a 2.5-hour radius of us. And I just always firmly believed it could be a really good soccer program. And so when I took over, Rick had done, obviously, their 2001 team that we're going to celebrate on next Thursday. We're the first team ever to win an NCAA tournament game here. So Rick had some good teams. Historically, they hadn't been as good maybe the last few few years of his tenure, but
Yeah, I'm not trying to diminish what he did
no,
there. It was
no,
just
no, and
it was in
I
a
know.
not a good spot at that point.
Yeah, it was not, and I think he'll be the first to admit that, and some of the mistakes that he made. Obviously, the new landscape of recruiting and then NIL, the NIL didn't really impact him then, but things were changing. Soccer was changing. The city was changing, and so I got fortunate that we fell into a job that was soccer centric in a city. Got put on a world stage, 4 or 5 years later, and so we always had this long term vision of this being a nationally recognized program. I never saw if you look at a lot of the top 25 programs, a lot of them are mid majors. And so I truly believe that this could be one of those schools. And luckily, administration, the university leadership have backed me and financially and enhancing the stadium, enhancing our locker rooms. And so just very fortunate for them to see the vision, but also just blessed to have this opportunity to continue to push the program forward and help that, that's what we're here for. I would tell the players all the time, we have to leave this program better than we received it. And I truly believe we've done that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you progressed each year since you took over, culminating in the last 2 years, making tournament appearances. Last year, having a home victory for the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yep.
the previous year, going to the 16,
Yep.
and some really great, exciting games. So they were all on the road, unfortunately, although I
Mm-hmm.
did make it to one of them. Just
Yeah.
uh, I guess how has that helped maybe with recruiting that you guys have done this now? How does that change anything, or with the transfer portal and everything else going on, does it change it much?
Yeah, I mean, certainly it's helped, right? I think one area it's really helped us in is the impact of domestic players. That was one thing that we maybe weren't able to attract, were the top domestic players in the United States when I first took over, and that has drastically changed. The top level of domestic player we're getting now is much better level than maybe 3-4 years ago when we were recruiting domestic guys, and so those runs have definitely helped. And the first year we got in the NCAA tournament, we were a little fortunate to get two Missouri teams, right? So the travel wasn't too hard. We went to St. Louis, beat them, and they were able to go down to Springfield and the game you were at and beat Missouri State, and then played a tough Pittsburgh team and go to double overtime against them. And then this past year was awesome to host Lindenwood here and in front of a record attendance and win that game, and then go out to Palo Alto and lose to Stanford 1-0, a really competitive game. And so I don't think people quite understand how close we really are
Yeah.
in terms of the national tournament. And obviously when you get into the NCAA tournament, you got to get some breaks and you got to get a little luck, and we're right there, and we want to continue to play those games, those high meaningful games, hopefully more here in Kansas City. Like you said, not always on the road, but listen, our ambitions to win a national title here. I don't see one reason why we can't. Of course, we want to win the conference tournaments to start, but I truly believe this is a program that can continue to compete at the national level.
Yeah, last year I think you guys. I mean, I know you probably don't want to comment too hard, but I think you guys kind of got a little bad positioning in the bracket there. I think you should have been a little bit higher in the bracket.
Yeah, it's just sometimes unfortunate, but we also know, listen, you got to beat a good team eventually. So,
Yeah.
it was a little tough to obviously go out and play a rested Stanford team that presses that are very intense, but we weathered the storm, had a good chance late to get it to 1-1 and just obviously missed it with Jeremy. But, listen, that's what we talked about. We just have to keep those games close. You never know. And the funny thing is, if we beat Stanford, then we host Washington here in Kansas City the next round.
Yeah.
But unfortunately fell short, and that didn't happen. But we'll just, I think it is critical that those top 16 seeds get a huge advantage, right? They get a bye while you're playing a Thursday night game and have to go travel this Sunday. So we're going to continue to push to hopefully get a national seed, and our expectations just continue to rise, and I think that's exactly where they need to be.
So you guys, I mean, like I said, you were really good in the last two tournaments. This year, you're ranked 25th in the preseason poll. I think that's the second time you were nationally ranked coming into preseason. I guess, what is your expectations for this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have huge expectations, but I think we also have to just get back to what makes our program special, and that is our work standard, or our standard of work on a daily basis. And so I tell the guys, listen, we're getting recognized nationally. We have players that are recognized nationally. Jeremy being on the Mac Herman Trophy watch list for the first time ever in program history. And so, of course, we deserve those eyeballs. We deserve that recognition, but nothing changes in terms of our daily habits and our work and our preparation. We're going to prepare the best we can to beat Creighton tomorrow, and then we'll do the same thing for SIUE. And so these guys just have an incredibly high work standard and standard of work. And it's just fun to coach and fun to be part of. And so I think we just got to live in the moment, be happy for the program, be happy for the guys, be happy for the university, but also just live in the moment and continue to push.
Jeremy Franku, is that the right way to say it? Or
Yeah.
close?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you said, he's on the Mac Herman Trophy watch list as a forward. I didn't realize that was the first time in program history. Is that
Yeah.
wow?
Yeah. I mean, it's a fairly new thing what they're doing in terms of the watch list. I think within the last 5 to 8 years, they've come out with kind of a watch list there for impactful players. But that's the Heisman of soccer. And Jeremy to me is, he scored 11 goals last year, but it was a top 20 schedule. He wasn't scoring goals against bad teams. He was scoring goals against really good teams.
Yes.
And so Jeremy has all of the ability to play at the next level. We're fortunate to have him here in Kansas City. He had a wonderful summer with Vermont Green. They won the national championship in USL2. He was the leading goal scorer with 18 goals. And so we've started him off pretty slow here in preseason to just make sure he's not overloaded, but coming off a very good summer. But our expectation is Jeremy to be one of, if not the best striker in the country.
Who's maybe some of the other players on the team that we should be keeping an eye on? I mean, I know a lot of time coaches don't want to single out players, but who maybe are a few that if we go to the game, we should keep an eye on for creating some goals or standout play in another spot in the field.
Yeah, I think a couple guys we're really excited about. I mean, Bryson Gosh is one of the first guys. He's only one of the first guys on my team sheet all the time. He's just so reliable. Kansas City kid, is developed the right way. Was down with Austin FC, was with Toronto FC this summer. I mean, a guy that has big time potential. You're not find many left-footed 6'3" guys that move the way he does, and just the way he's developed here within our program, not only on the field but the leader he has become. Just a really cool story, and just awesome kid to coach. And then Gabriel Galuccio is a central midfield player. He got a high ankle sprain last year, missed a lot of the season, but started the season flying last year. I think had 3 or 4 assists before he got hurt. Obviously Miguel Fernandez is another incredible leader for us. But I think we have a lot of young talent that will be here. Pablo Morato has had a good preseason so far. He's another French striker that will be a freshman for us. The goalkeeping situation is really competitive right now. We have Mark Popov back that played a lot of last year, but we also have Brandon Kincaid back who went to the Sweet 16 2 years ago. So there's definitely some decisions that are keeping me up at night. That we are a very deep team, too deep in almost every position. Brevin Cole is back, who missed all last year with a knee injury. Another local kid that played right back. So just listen, we got a lot of competition going on right now, and like I said, I haven't been able to sleep as well as I want to at night.
It's good problems to have, though, right?
It is. It's very good problems to have. And it comes back to administration believing us, giving us the financial wherewithal to keep and retain the players we need and go get the guys. And I truly believe we have 16 to 18 starters on this team, and we're going to need all those in a college season. And they've been getting after each other this preseason, which has been good to see.
Yeah, it's always good to have that depth. I know I'm not always able to watch the team and know it as well as I want to, but there's sometimes players I would expect to come back the second year and be better, and they maybe were injured and weren't as well playing as well. So you got to have that depth, right?
Absolutely. In the college game, especially when you're playing at least twice a week and your recovery time is shortened. And so again, we're very thankful for the administration to give us the financial resources to really have the team needed to compete at the top level. And obviously the way we play too, we're an aggressive team. We like to press teams. We like to go forward. Our wingbacks make high intensity runs a lot. So we need multiple players to play in those positions. And we feel really good about that.
And I was just going to ask, for people who haven't seen you play, I was going to ask you to describe how you play, but I think you just did. So
Yeah, I think we want to be multidimensional, right? We do start with how we hurt teams with the ball. We want to initiate from the back. We want to be vertical with our passes through combination play and get behind back lines and counter press. But listen, we also have moments in games where we'll sit a little bit more in the mid block and play in transition. And I think you have to be multidimensional to be at your best version. And I think we have all the tools and key players to be able to do both of those.
Changing up a little bit, you mentioned before how you knew Kansas City because you were here with the Wizards,
Mm-hmm.
the pre-sporting Kansas City name,
Mm-hmm.
um, and all that. But how fun was it to see the entire world looking at Kansas City a lot this year?
Incredible. I was telling my wife and my family I was a little bit skeptical going into the World Cup that our city was ready, and man, did we show out, and it was just so fun to see. I was able to go to 2 games here in Kansas City. My son and I flew out to LA for the Paraguay US game, so I got the 3 World Cup games for my hat trick, so that was good. But I couldn't be more proud of Kansas City and just the way we're not only shown on a world stage, but just the energy within the city was amazing, and just a really fun time to be part of.
Hopefully that helps recruit some guys that you pull in from overseas. They can go, man, I just saw Messi play in that stadium right
Yeah.
down the street from UMKC.
Listen, when we've had our presentation for our internationals, we've had the World Cup slide on her there for 2 to 3 years that we're going to host a World Cup, and now that it's finally here and over with, and some of the raw footage that we have with the Netherlands downtown parade and the Colombia round of 32 game, I mean, just so many cool organic videos that we can show, and I think listen, that's how it's been able to accelerate our program. Is this isn't an international game, this is a world game. The selection of players that I have available to me is just tremendous, right? And so
Yeah.
we want to get Kansas City kids, don't get me wrong, we have plenty of them, but at the end of the day you have to be good enough to play here, and those players can come from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I think you do have a good amount of Kansas City kids, but how many countries are represented on the Roos?
It's a great question. I don't know off the top of my head, but we definitely have France, Spain, Italy, Japan, Czech Republic, Brazil, Austria. I could be missing a few, but those are the countries off the top of my head that I can think of. And my associate head coach Rafa is from Spain. Filippo Erico, our other assistant coach and goalkeeper coach, is from Italy, and so we have good relationships there, good connections. But listen, we also love seeing our Kansas City kid come here and
Yeah.
represent our city too. And so we don't think it has to be one or the other. We think it can be a combination of both, and that's how we'll continue to recruit moving forward.
Which World Cup games did you go to here?
I went to Netherlands, Tunisia, and then I went round of 32, Colombia, Ghana. So, yeah, those were fun games to be part of.
So you got a little bit wet at the Netherlands game.
I actually didn't. So the tickets we had were there was like 4 or 5 sections underneath one of the
Yeah.
overhangs, and we just happened to be there. It was incredible luck, great tickets. But yeah, we didn't get one single drop that whole night. That was incredible.
Wow. I didn't dry out for like 2 hours.
I know. My wife and I kind of looked at each other and said, how rare is this that, there's literally in that first deck, you have a couple of overhangs that go around, and we just were under one of them.
That's cool. Yeah, it was that I got to shoot most of them, and I went to the other one here as a fan. My daughter bought me a ticket, so
Nice. Nice.
I have a good daughter. She said her dream was to go to a World Cup game with her dad, so I have a great daughter. Um, with with all the things going on in Kansas City and all that stuff, but and I mentioned this when I was talking to Coach Smith earlier, is the streetcar line there too now. So you have a good opportunity for people who live downtown or who have easy access to the streetcar line to just pop in to go to a game to see the Roos play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it should be an attraction for some of the young adults, some of the people that live within that streetcar line. I mean, we do have a premium space that offers alcohol and food. And so I think it's a great event for fairly low cost money. And again, I think for us, it's just getting the messaging out there of how high a level that really is, and so in my humble opinion, it's up there with any level in the city. And so,
Yeah.
I want more people here to support it. Obviously, the Lindenwood Green was sold out and was a great environment. We're not naive to think that is going to happen every game, but I do think it is a underutilized area of the city now that the streetcar is coming to campus. We were fortunate enough to go to the current game August 1st, our whole team, and we actually went stop to stop, so UMKC all the way to the Riverfront Stadium, so that was pretty cool, and document that. But we're hopeful that the streetcar opens up some new possibilities for people.
Yeah, and that's one of my goals is to do these interviews every week or two. Maybe sneak in some players here and there, and do a little added reporting because I think the college game in Kansas City area is really good. I mean, between both UMKC men and women and KU women are,
Yep.
They're ranked, I think, top 15 or 20.
Yep.
And so I want to kind of cover each one of these teams a little bit better than I have in the past. I do say this almost every year and then don't do it as well as I want to, but I'm doing a better start this year.
Yeah.
So I do want to see more people come out. And this is, people want to talk about how great players are, but these are ways, going out to USL games and WPSL games and the college game, who some of these players are going to go on and play pro and be really good players that we will see popping up elsewhere around the world. So it's a good opportunity and they're quality games. So I enjoy them.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, Thad. And I know you were one of the first ones to kind of believe in us and give us kind of a stage and resource to tell our story a little bit. And we also knew we had to put a good product on the field, and we feel like we've done that. And we have so many cool stories here in terms of the kids that we have, and not only local kids but international kids, and just an incredibly high level that they're not only playing at but just achieving. I mean, we have the second highest GPA in the whole department, and these guys are just unbelievable kids. They're great in the community. They help in our camps when we get 400 to 500 youth kids every summer that come through on campus. And so I do think it's a lasting impact. That's why I love coaching college. You can make an impact on these kids' lives and really prepare them for life, whether it's professional soccer or them just doing their own job. And because they work so hard and they create such great habits here that I have full confidence that these guys are going to be great ambassadors for our program.
Yeah, I do too. Anything I should have asked you today, Coach?
No, I think you've asked all the right things, and you were excited. Like I said, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary for our 2001 team on Thursday.
Okay.
I'm hopeful that any alum that hears that will RSVP, so we can recognize them, especially that 2001 team. That's the first team that ever made it to the NCAA tournament, and then they won the first round game. So I think that could be a special night. We're playing SIUE, which is Rick Benben's alma mater, and we'll do a nice recognition for Rick because, like you said, he set such a great foundation for me to take over. And Rick's a good friend of ours and obviously the program, and has been nothing but great and supportive of me and the program. And so I think that's gonna be a special night on Thursday. We're looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get a good crowd because I think we'll put on a good show for the people that come.
Cool. I will try to promote it and remind people that they should get out there.
Perfect. Thank you, Thad.
All right. I appreciate the time, Coach. And I guess we are out.
All right.